On today's program, Inside Business Cameroon on Mediafrique Radio, we shall be discussing what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, and we shall be looking at it within the context of Cameroon. We shall be discussing what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon, and we shall be having a special guest today, Fongoh Martin, which we'll come to discover just in a minute. And at some point in the program, we shall be opening the lines. We shall be giving you, our listeners, the opportunities to contribute, to ask questions, and to be part of the program. As we all know, starting a business often seems very easy. It's just like you have a good idea, you hire a team, this team works on this idea, you arrange for some investment, and after a while everything begins to go as planned, and you see, everything begins to go as planned, you start making money and you become a rich man. So, but we all know this is hardly ever the case. Starting a business is a journey that tests more than your financial stamina. It tests your agility. It tests everything about you. And when we look around our community today, we begin to see that the failure rate of businesses is quite alarming. It's true, worldwide it's challenging to do business, but again, coming within our context, it gets even tougher. So when you look around, you see so many businesses come up. Within a maximum of 2 years' time, you don't see them again. You see a whole new set of businesses coming up. And the question is, what is happening? What is happening? What does it take to be a successful entrepreneur? Is it that these entrepreneurs did not understand really what it takes? So many of them are giving up along the way. So today we really want to be discussing what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur within the context of Cameroon. And as I've said before, we are having a special guest, Fongoh Martin. Before we discover our special guest, I want you to stay right there, and we shall be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, welcome to Inside Business Cameroon on Mediafrique Radio. So we have as guest today Fongoh Martin. Martin is the founder and CEO of 2 startups, DigitalRenter and Another Eye. He's a software engineer and also a student. It's amazing how Martin has been able to put this all together. And he's today one of the emerging entrepreneurs of the Silicon Mountain tech ecosystem. Martin, we are honored to have you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Laye, for having me on your show.
We want to thank you very much for pulling time off your schedule. I know how busy you get, working day and night, and you are able to create time for us and for our listeners. We are honored to have you.
Thank you again.
And how was your day today?
Well, the day was pretty good, though during the midday we had a heavy downpour here, but it was a blessing to stay at home and do some work.
Welcome once more. So today, Martin, we want to be discussing on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon. What it takes. So if I ask you the question, are you a successful entrepreneur?
I'm still on the path to success, but slowly but surely we're getting there.
Okay, Martin, I think I've tried to give some introduction about you. Can we just, in some few words, know a little bit about what you do? What is the business, the startup you are working on?
Okay. First of all, we have 2 startups I'm working on, but I'll be focusing on the first one and the main one, which is DigitalRenter. So for a couple of months while I was in school, we noticed the problem of people finding vacant houses, students, civil servants, business people who are being transferred and admitted into schools. So we thought, okay, what if we bring this house search platform onto a digital system where from the comfort of your home, you can get the list of vacant houses in and around where you're living, and then you can just see the pictures and then go for it. So basically, I'm running a real estate marketplace called DigitalRenter.
A real estate marketplace, DigitalRenter.
Yes.
I think our listeners would just want to have a glimpse of your second business initiative.
Okay, so the second business initiative is called Another Eye, which it's a platform that helps people to find missing documents easily. And it was born after a need. It was born after a need which I lost my ID card, and I went through really difficult times. So I thought, okay, we could have a mobile application dedicated to help people find their documents, because they can go and post on Facebook, but then it might be difficult to search. So with the mobile application, if you lose a document, for example, an ID card, a credit card, a passport, a certificate, you just need to go on the application and search for it. And if you also pick up a document, you go there and you upload the document. When somebody finds it, you can also get some compensation for the good work you did.
Okay, outstanding. Those are two startups we have there.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Martin, we just want to go back to the beginning.
Sure.
Martin is a student of the University of Buea, a software engineer trained who could be out there working. There's a high demand today for programmers, for software developers, for software engineers. How did it all come about? Just run us through the story. We now find you as an entrepreneur. What pushed you? What happened along the way? Just give us that background.
Okay, it actually did. My passion and my drive for entrepreneurship did not actually just start from university or from high school. It started right from my childhood, where most of the times when my father is sending me to school, he will talk about, he usually uses the word self-employed. When you go to school, you can even come out and then open your small pharmacy. You can come out and open your small repair shop, because he understood the system. You might come out, but there are no jobs. So as I grew up into university and I was studying computer engineering, I was fortunate to be fished out by one of our seniors in school and in the community, who took me in. And I worked with him for over 2 years. And for those 2 years, I pretty much learned a whole lot about life, not only that, about school, because if I had just focused on school, I'm sure I wouldn't be here. So within those 2 years, I learned a whole lot about the business, about entrepreneurship, about getting to talk to clients, about satisfying people's needs. So during my final year, I had a project which I wanted to do, which was to help farmers detect when to plant their crops. But due to inadequate information and resources, also time, I could not execute that project. So I went and spoke with a friend. He's currently in Douala, who we're talking about, he did agriculture, so he was giving me some tips. And in the midst of our discussion, he told me the problems they were facing, that they sometimes did not have electricity in their hostel because maybe the caretaker did not pay the bills, and a whole lot of difficulties that...
Martin, I just want to stop you a little bit.
Okay.
You just take us from a history of a student, and you were just focused on finding problems. And you never thought of looking for a job.
I wouldn't say I didn't think of looking for a job per se, but I was more focused, or my focus, my vision, what I like, it's about solving problems and creating an impact in the community, not just being a small or one drop of water in the whole ocean. I want to build something that I see people use, and then I'm contented that I'm solving a problem in society. Not only getting a job that will pay me hundreds of thousands. Yeah, I might get that, but what's my immediate impact into my community and far wide?
Okay, so thank you. I just wanted to get that. At what point did this thing just come over you that I should look around, identify problems as solved? I wanted to know if it's somebody that talked to you about it, or is you that just realize within yourself that really this is the thing to do.
Okay, that's a pretty difficult question, David. I'm thinking, do I go back to my childhood from where I was inspired, or I come to where I got the idea of getting the project? Maybe you just help me on that.
Okay. I think just go on along the way.
Okay, so I'll just continue from when I spoke with my friend and he told me the difficulties. So I thought of, okay, this is a problem which I see people going through. Why don't I create a platform that brings all the actors of the real estate industry into one platform, makes it safe, makes it secure, makes it transparent, and gives it an easy platform for all real estate management activities to be done on it. That's how DigitalRenter was born. But it finally transcended into a property search platform because of the need I saw in the community which I lived in.
Okay, so from a need of the community, there was DigitalRenter born, a startup.
Yes.
Now, Martin, I think our choice for having you here was quite intentional, because, you know, when we talk entrepreneurship, when you look around and look at the successful entrepreneurs, the common man tend to think that maybe somewhere in their history they inherited some property, or maybe, as they put in quotes, they were lucky somewhere, or they come from, or they were exposed to some resources at some point in time. And I think we were intentional about having you here, a student who became entrepreneur. And because we believe many will be able to relate to this story of a student turned entrepreneur, and to really get what it takes from you, what it takes from an entrepreneur who is coming from a background, as I said before, many can relate with. I think most people have been students before, and they understand this quite well, starting with nothing. So again, but before we come into talking about what it really takes, how did you come about the name DigitalRenter?
Yeah, the name, which has had a lot of difficulties for some people pronouncing it, it's captured from the idea that we want to have a digital space for renting activities. So we want to digitalize everything that it has to do with renter. So somebody who rents a property is called a renter. So we want to digitalize that activity of renting, hence DigitalRenter. Okay,
I think we get that. Then, Martin, let's get to this point. I think everybody that when we attend seminars, the first question that used to come is how to raise funds. How did you raise funds to begin this initiative, DigitalRenter?
You don't always need 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million to start up your project. It also depends on the kind of project you start with. So as regards mine, I started with basically almost nothing. I just had my brain, had my laptop, had an internet modem which I fueled, and that's how it went. So I cannot really say I started with a huge capital. I could say I started with maybe 5,000 francs or 10,000 just to put my internet. And as the time went on, I gathered some funds from left and right and then pushed up the business.
And Martin, I want to take you on this. I want to really have you on this. There's this question everybody asks. Now, let's look, we are in Cameroon.
Sure.
I want to start a business. Will I need money to start in Cameroon?
You just need to identify the resources and where you can get those resources. Sometimes the money you need might not be physical money like the millions. You might not need it at hand. You might just need the right resource persons to get you to where you need to be. Like for my case, I basically started with that little amount and went on with spending little because I could identify some resources, some key resource persons that could help me out in that. Talking about that, I'm talking about an incubation program which I'm currently under. It actually helped me to cut down a whole lot of cost. So I think you might need money, maybe if you are building maybe a hardware product or a prototype, but if you can actually get the appropriate resource persons that can help you out in that, then it means you can likely start without having the physical cash. So it's not always having the money at hand, but having the right resource persons possibly to help you out.
So we are talking about building the right network and creating relationship with the people who have the resources.
That is the key, building an appropriate network.
And with this relationship, there's possibility to have an exchange to get the resources you need without necessarily paying money, if I get you well.
Very, very true. You might do something, maybe you have a skill, like if you're a software engineer, you want to start up a project, you want to start up a business, you don't have the funds, you just go to somebody and build a person's website, and in exchange, maybe the person gives you an office space, for example. Maybe you never had money from the initial point to pay for an office space. You go and you build someone's website, and you have maybe some money which you can use to do one or two things. So, but if you can build the right network, then I believe you can start without having the exact funds at your pocket.
Good. I think we also have a specific case, because now we are talking about a tech business who it may take a little lower, or to have a sample, a prototype of your product, it may take a little lesser. But with traditional businesses like a grocery shop,
yep,
and it may take a little more. You may have to need some money to stock goods, but I don't know whether you are saying in this case I'll need money, or it's still the same principle, building relationships with the people that have, and trying to create an exchange in which these resources will move to you without necessarily paying it because you don't have.
Yeah, that's another scenario, because in the tech field, it's pretty much easier to start up a business. You just need to put up some scripts and then sell it online. But with a traditional business, yeah, it might be difficult because you need funds to buy equipment. But then if you still have the right persons, you could nail it off. But if you don't have, then you absolutely need the money as that's an initial capital to start up the business.
Okay, Martin. So we are here now. You've started. The business is going on. You put it out there. How did you get into securing your first clients? You know, without money to do the publicity, to do the promotions, and how did you get into having your first initial client base who could even provide you with the support?
Okay, so I would like to extend a thanks very, very, very far to Mark Zuckerberg for building Facebook and buying off WhatsApp. So he has done a great job. So that's where I started basically with my marketing. Did some few Facebook posts. We started DigitalRenter with just 2 properties on it, 2 properties in Buea, and we've grown over the time. So we just had to do some few posts, and after 1 week, 2 weeks, nobody was coming. I felt really bad, like maybe I've missed my path, but I just had to be persistent. So after that, some people saw the listings online, the adverts online, and it was free. You can post for free. You can send people to WhatsApp messages for free. So I would not say I started with any marketing budget. It was 0 budget. So that's how I started to get the clients. And for the past 1 year plus, which we've been existing, most of our marketing has been online to reduce the cost. So that's how we grew our base.
It means you will advocate for social media or e-marketing skills for an entrepreneur in Cameroon.
It's an absolute necessity for every entrepreneur to have e-marketing skills. Like, you know how to manage your Facebook accounts, Twitter, Instagram, and even how to handle things on WhatsApp. Because it's very, very cheap. You can start with as low as 0 budget. But when you want to go down big, that's when you might need to start putting money for ads and other things. But you need those skills. And if you don't have those skills, you get somebody that has the skills and you work with.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Inside Business Cameroon on Mediafreak Radio. And we are talking what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon. What it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon. And we have as guests on today's program, Fongoh Martin. We would like to open up the lines pretty early today so that we could benefit from the experience of Fongoh Martin by asking questions, by contributing as we go along. Feel free to call at any time in the program. and just contribute and just ask questions and just be part of the program. So we'll be giving our numbers a little earlier today. You can call or text us on 6788988630. I will repeat, 6788988630. So you can call on or text us and you'll be part of the program. And we are just going to continue, Martin. Now, yes, we have had an idea of how you started, of the idea of how you could raise your initial funds, of how you could get your initial customer base. But I want to ask you this more. When any entrepreneur begins a business, you reach this level where you need a team. You see that you cannot do it alone. You need a team, but you hardly had the money to pay this team to work for you at this initial stage. You have a big idea, you believe in it, but you don't have, and you need these people because you cannot offer all these services alone. How did you get your initial team?
It's usually a difficult task getting a team, but I would say this was a divine favor from God that I easily got this team. That 90% of the people I work with are my classmates, either from primary school or from secondary school. And the majority of them actually came into the vision, saw the vision and came into it without me asking them to come. But some others, I had to actually explain to them the vision, and then they bought the vision. So that's how I grew my team. Mostly the people around me that understand me, and even my family, like my other brother is the one that sometimes does my designs. So I leverage from those angles to get the people who understand me and who share in the vision, because basically I don't have money to pay them.
Yeah, Ben Martin, we can say this. I'm putting myself, I'm an entrepreneur out there. Somebody just moved. What are you telling them? What's the assurance? Why are they staying around here? What did you tell them? Just...
If I tell you I know what I told them, then I'll be lying. I don't really know exactly what I told them, but I just know they understood the dream. They found themselves as part and parcel of the dream, and they decided to go along with the dream.
They found themselves part and
parcel of the dream.
And what can you tell somebody out there who is facing the same challenge, is at this level and cannot get a team to work with?
I would say that's a pretty difficult question. Maybe you rephrase it again so I come back.
I am facing the challenge. I'm an entrepreneur out there, facing the challenge of getting any team member to work with, and I'm really seeing that I need staff initially to help me provide these services, but I cannot afford. What advice can you give to such a person?
Okay, maybe the first thing I would say is you need to identify the core skills that you need. Like, you identify the roles that you need specifically for your startup or your business at that particular instance. Don't try to jump a bridge without, don't try to cross a bridge without even reaching there. I would say you need to look at, first of all, from your immediate circle, maybe your family. Is there somebody in your family that can understand you and that can give you an assistance in one of those roles which you need to be filled up? Even from your friends, your circle of your friends. That is why they say there's the common saying that there's no man is an island. So if you had been living your life in isolation, trust me, to get a team at this point will be difficult. But if you had been living your life in the community, in helping others, it gets to that point where people have been able to trust you, understand you, and know that when you're saying something is actually the truth that you're bringing out. So go to your inner circle, get the friends, talk to some friends. Not all of them will accept. Talk to about 20 of them as time is going on. Maybe you start filtering them based on the ideas. Maybe some people are not really following the business. They don't buy the vision.
So
They
you basically
naturally
sell the vision to them.
Basically, you sell the vision to the people you want to join, because its purpose is the sense of belonging that will keep them there until you can start paying them.
So do these people come in as staff, as owners? How do they come in?
Well, it depends on the way you bring them, but don't bring them as employees. Don't bring them as staffs. Bring them as other visionaries into the project. You might be paying them from time to time, but funds, money at the initial point of a startup never sustains the team. It's the sense of belonging, is a sense of wanting to make that vision go to the point which it becomes something big, and they feel comfortable saying that I was part of this. So that's more like what I can say. Sometimes you might say, okay, you're giving up shares. Sometimes you might say, okay, you're bringing people and making them co-founders. Sometimes you might decide on different terms. So it depends on also the set of people you're bringing into your team.
Okay, Martin, how many hours do you work on the average?
That's a pretty difficult question to say. I can give you an exact number of hours, but averagely, I could say I work like maybe 10 hours, 12 hours.
A day?
A day, yeah. Sometimes I work maybe 15, but some days, the bad days, I might work 8. But naturally, I work extra.
You work extra?
Yeah, because that's obviously when you go. Well, that's going to the next question.
But seeing, observing entrepreneurs in Cameroon, what do you think is the appropriate minimum number of hours one should budget for?
Just budget your life. That's simple, right? Just budget your life for the next 5 or next 7 years. It's a whole sacrifice. Less time for clubbing, less time for girlfriend, boyfriend, less time even for your family. Trust me, I'm just fortunate I have an understanding family, because they rarely get to see me. Even my other brother I live at home with, we just barely see on the bed, and when he's gone, I'm gone, and then I come back, maybe he's already tired.
So just give us a typical, how your typical day looks like. Just an outline of your typical day.
Okay, I think, let me start from when I wake up from bed.
Yes.
Okay, so I could wake up from bed very earlier, sometimes 3 o'clock, sometimes 4. Sometimes I wake up at 6 because I slept late. Do normal how I do my normal prayers. I go and ease myself, and then I come back to my table now, or my chair, and go through the previous activities of the previous day. What did I have to do that I did not do? Are there tasks to actually review, because I also do a lot of programming. So are there tasks that I have to review, or are there tasks I have to submit for other developers to review? From there now, I could work for like 1 or 2 hours at home, and then prepare myself for work. That's maybe do house chores, wash a plate, sweep the house, and then go to work. And when I go to work, normal the work day starts. I'll maybe chit chat with some friends at the office, and then dive straight to work.
Wow.
Then after I close, I come back home, I eat a bit, and then I work.
So it's work. Start work, close work, and work everywhere.
It's pretty much, you just have to invest as much energy and as much time as possible. Be careful, you need to eat so you don't break down.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have some text coming in. First, we have, hello guys. I'm so happy to learn from Martin's story, and proud to have seen him start from little and not giving up this far. Keep up, brother. You are an inspiration to us all. God bless you. From Stro Academy, Moliko. Wow, Stro Academy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Stro Academy.
Thank you very much. And we have another one. I so much love the topic of the day, and beautiful day to you ladies at the studio. We got guys here. This is from Juliet. Juliet, we got guys here, and yeah, of course, there should be ladies working in other parts of the studio, but right in here now we got guys, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contributions. So keep contributing. Again, this is Inside Business Cameroon on Mediafic Radio, and our numbers are 6788-98630. 6788-98630. You can call us, you can text us, and you'll be right part of the program. We are discussing what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon, and we are learning from the stories of Fongoh Martin, CEO and founder of DigitalRenter, and Another I. Thank you for being part. So we'll continue. Martin, you talk and mention your family, that this had some challenges with your family. I just want you to share, how has this affected your family life, being an entrepreneur?
Affected my family life. Basically, I have my parents, my siblings, and the people around. I'm not married, obviously. I get really busy, sometimes extremely busy to pay visits to my family, and sometimes my father stays for months, does not see me. My other sister, who is here in Buea, sometimes it goes to 4 or 5 months, she doesn't set an eye on me. And even my
and she's in Buea with you?
Yeah, she's in Buea with me. But at least I would say this is a blessing, because most of my family understand and they accept what I'm doing. So it's not much of a problem, like, oh, you're not coming around, you're not doing this. But yeah, they might feel sometimes like I'm missing in the whole picture, but they believe I know what I want to do, and they believe in the vision and the dream which I'm pursuing.
So you are having a supportive family then?
I could say that. You can say that again.
Wow, then you should be one of the, should I say, lucky entrepreneurs?
Yeah, I would say the blessed entrepreneurs.
The blessed entrepreneurs. The blessed entrepreneurs. We have seen people have problem in this, especially people who are married, people who have children, and we have seen them have real challenges with this. Martin, if you had to advise somebody on when within his life to go in for entrepreneurship, at what age will you advise?
I will say go in for entrepreneurship as early as possible. Now, I'll take the scenario of a student that is, for example, in the university. When you are in the university, don't focus all your time on school. Get under somebody who is skilled at what you have in mind that you want to do. For example, if you want to do design, for example, graphic design. As you're in school, get under somebody, go to a studio, join the person, and then tell the person you want to learn under that person. That is the first step of entrepreneurship. It's not just about...
That's an apprenticeship.
Apprenticeship, yeah. It's not just about getting out from the blue and saying I'm an entrepreneur, and then open your startup and then call yourself CEO and founder. We have thousands of CEO and founders there, but doing crazy things. But I'll say just when you do that, maybe from your first or second year, as early as possible, then when you graduate, if you actually see that you're really ripe, you can go up to set up your own business. But if you don't see you're right, I will still advise you go and work under somebody. Again, still the apprenticeship. This is really common with the Nigerians that I usually see in the Nigerian movies. They really follow that a lot. Go under somebody, work with that person for 1, 2, 3 years, and gain those skills, gain the leadership skills, know the person's business operations, know the person's supply chain, know the person's marketing strategy. And you should not go under somebody who is not in any way related to what you want to do. For example, you don't go under maybe I would say a beautician or somebody who does in makeup when you want to do a business in IT. Go under somebody who has something that has to do in IT, and you should be submissive, ready to take advices and follow instructions. And after that, I think you are ready to go into entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I think
fully.
I think what you are saying is just so important, the place of apprenticeship. and mentorship.
Yes.
You know, we are living in a generation that everybody just wants to be in front there.
The big problem.
And say, I'm the leader, follow me, and I know what it takes. And everybody seems to know where he's going and what it takes. Though at times the stubbornness too is very important for an entrepreneur. So Martin, from what you are saying, do you believe that there is some sort of a pattern or formula to becoming a successful entrepreneur?
I would not say I have an exact formula, but if you start up with that, with what I just talked about, learning from others, that's getting under a mentor and getting on an apprenticeship, and you should have some leadership skills. So I cannot really say there's an exact pattern that I've mastered for now, but maybe in some subsequent program somewhere I might be able to talk about my bigger experience that it gives me to say there's a success factor. But I'll just say, just start up by learning from others. Then when you leave from learning from others, you should know how to keep the people, know how to talk to your people, know how to talk to your customers. The leadership skill is very important. Soft skills too in marketing, and you should be serving a particular domain. Maybe you're in IT. It's very difficult to run an IT business if you don't have maybe some basic skills in IT. Like, it's easier for me to run an online real estate platform because I'm trained in software development and software engineering. So to say I have an exact formula that can get one from nothing to a successful entrepreneur, I would not really say I have an exact formula for now.
Okay, Martin, what is your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is being at the end of this journey and not being able to achieve what I see in my mind, not being able to bring what I see in my mind to reality. It's gonna really break me for sure. That's my big fear. And there are people who actually believe that this is supposed to work, and I'm feeling like, okay, I'm disappointing them. So that's my biggest fear, not succeeding.
Okay, we are receiving greetings from Fred. From Fred, I think Fred is just saying hello.
Hello, Fred.
Fred is saying hello from Moliko.
Okay.
Thank you, Fred, for reaching out. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we are on Media Freak Radio, and we are on the program Inside Business Cameroon. Inside Business Cameroon, and our numbers, as we said, we have put out our numbers there so that you could call, you could contribute, and you could be part of the program. 6788-98630, 6788-98630. So you can call, you can text, and you'll be right part of the program. We are talking what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur in Cameroon, and we are examining the life and the profile of Martin, of what he has been doing to become, to achieve the level of success he has achieved so far, and we are believing this will be an inspiration to us all. So that was it about your fear. Now, what has been your most satisfying moment in business? You know, when we talk about business, it begins to seem like it's just work, it's just a lot of work and work again, as you have just painted a few minutes ago. Do you have some satisfying moments, some moments you really feel like in your business that you really feel happy, good about?
Yeah, those moments usually come when I feel a customer is satisfied with the service we've offered. Like, there are some customers who will send a text message back or call and say, guys, I really loved your service. You're really doing great, and I found the house I was looking for. And I really feel really satisfied, like I'm achieving the goal because I'm solving the problem. People are finding houses. Landlords are getting satisfied because their properties are not being vacant for too long. So that's I would say that's one of the points which I really received that great level of satisfaction that I'm doing that.
So when you satisfy a particular need, You feel a kind of joy.
Yeah, I feel like, wow, I'm doing it.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling for sure. I know that feeling. So, Martin, what piece of advice will you give to a college graduate who wants to become an entrepreneur? You know, we have thousands of these college graduates who are listening to you, thousands of university graduates. We have your classmates in the master's program who are listening to you right now. And some of these students, they want to become entrepreneurs. Some of them want to become entrepreneurs, from the HNDs to the BScs to even the advanced level and even below that. What advice can you give to such persons?
I'll start by saying, don't become an entrepreneur for the wrong reasons. Which are the wrong reasons? I want to become my own boss. I want to be free to do whatever I want to do. Because trust me, you are never free as an entrepreneur. Even sometimes you want to go to bed and they call you that, oh, your server has crashed. You have to leave your bed and go fix that issue. So don't get into entrepreneurship for the wrong reasons. You want to get rich quick. It's not get rich quick scheme. Never. Entrepreneurship has never been a get rich quick scheme. It takes time, energy, perseverance, and a whole lot of sacrifices to become an entrepreneur. So if you really think you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to identify a problem in either your immediate community or a far community that you want to solve. Is it you want to save time for some people? Is it you want to connect people together? Is it that you want to build a system that will cut down costs? Do you want to do a new fabric, a new design, a new kind of chair, a new kind of maybe bag, Ankara design? You need to actually look at, okay, what is the need I want to solve? What is the problem I want to solve in the society? So that's the first thing. You cannot become an entrepreneur without having a problem that you want to solve in the society. Now, once you identify that problem, as I said earlier on, if you're in school, get in under somebody who is doing something similar to what you want to do in the future. That is the apprenticeship, model. Get under that person. And as you're learning from that person, you're building, your mindset is increasing and it's getting wider. You're seeing what could work and what could not work in the particular idea which you're thinking about. And basically, when you graduate from school or you leave your current boss, if there are incubators or if there are business incubation centers, I advise you enroll in such, because most of us are not taught business from school. I was never taught business, and even sometimes the people who are taught business, they are taught the theoretical business, but when you come out to the field, you meet something totally different. And if you don't have somebody who is in the business field that can help you out, you are liable to make a whole lot of mistakes rather than having somebody under you or which you can help you. So if you can get a mentor, you can get under an incubation program, go through it. Then as from time to time now, you're fixing your product and you'll get to the point which, as Laye talked about, you need a team. But that's basically what I can say. If you want to become an entrepreneur, that's the path which I will give. So get an idea, work under somebody. When you graduate, get under an incubation program or get a mentor. Work with that mentor as you're building your project. And to build your project, get the mentor who is in your field. You could get 1, 2, 3 mentors, but one of them should be somebody who is doing something related to your field of entrepreneurship which you want to go into. And then know that you have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice energy, you have to sacrifice even some of your friends. Some will tell you that, hey, this man is over high, this man claims they want to know it. No. It's your dream that you want to build. It's something that you've seen in your mind, and most of the times it's only you that can see that thing. And if you can put it out to other persons to join your team is very important as you grow into the business. So I think that's the advice I'll give.
I think that's really some strong advice, because we seem to be having just two opposite people when we look around. And there are those who don't go at all to having any mentors or receiving any advice, or those who want to receive from everybody,
Listening from everybody is also difficult. You could get confused.
They want to receive from everybody. They want to associate with every successful man in their community. We have these two extremes, and At times it's important we find a middle ground. Now, what will you say are the top 3 skills needed to be a successful entrepreneur? What will you say are the top 3 skills that one should acquire to become a successful entrepreneur?
Well, it's really difficult to get just the top 3 skills, but I'll just give it not in any order. But I would say one of the skills is leadership skills. You need to have leadership skills, because trust me, at one point you will be managing not just your business, but you'll be managing people. So if you cannot know how to relate with people, you don't know how to talk to them, you don't know how to pass a vision to them, you don't know how to cooperate with them. Like I was following one time Steve Jobs, one of his programs that he had before he died. He was talking about, he says he hires the people that have the skills to do those things, and he does not control them. He lets them do what they can do and what they are trained to do, and he does what he has to do, but then they go on collaboration. It doesn't mean that it's going to be that easy. You're going to have fights and all those things. And the second one is you should be able to sacrifice. It's very important, not go kill somebody, please. You should be able to sacrifice your time, put in your energy, put in your all. You should not be scared to put in your finance in that business. Some people will keep their money aside and then decide that I want to go and borrow money to put into the business, or when the business has to take maybe one next leap, they are scared, okay, should I put this money into the business or I should keep it for backup plan? There should be no backup plan. Just be ready to risk it all. If it fails, you learn. If it works, you learn and you go ahead. Then the next thing, the third one I would say is perseverance. Entrepreneurship comes with a whole lot. It's a whole package. It's a bundle of joy. It's a bundle of anger, a bundle of depression. That's everything here you can imagine in this life. There are days I go back at home, trust me, it's like the whole world has crumbled upon me. But the self-motivation, I get up the next day, this is what I signed up for. I need to do this. I need to persevere. I'm seeing the light, though it's faint. There are some days I see the light. It's really bright at the end of the tunnel. There are some days it's like it's a whole cloudy day, but it's just that perseverance. You have to keep persevering. You persevere, and then you know, okay, this is where I'm going to. It doesn't mean that you will not know that, okay, it is time for me to change. And please let me just add the next one. It might be more than 3. You need to know when to leave a particular thing that is not working. Because you have put in so much time and energy into one particular aspect of your business and it's not yielding fruits.
Okay.
And you've noticed that this is not the way to go. You should be ready to leave that one and move on to the next one.
Okay.
Like my boss at the office usually tells me one of the sins of entrepreneurship is refusing to let go what you've done because you spend so much time. It's like a sin. You want to keep pushing on something which you've actually seen that is not possible. Like I'll take for example my situation. When we started the DigitalRenter, it was more about a real estate management platform where we manage rents, we manage bills, we manage tenants, rental contract, digital rental contract agreements. But then we saw that that was not the exact thing that people needed at that point. It was difficult. I had spent over 1 year building that, and
you had to leave it.
And I had to leave it.
Wow.
I had to leave it. It was really difficult. Like
okay.
With all this energy that I've put in, and I have to leave it. But thank God I could put down my ego on not wanting to leave that, and then decide that I want to make the business work, and I need to be able to pivot. And even now, we are still pivoting. There are things we've shelved. There are projects we started, and it has failed. And we know that, okay, that is something that has failed. We have known one more way not to fail. So we keep going.
So as an entrepreneur, you have to keep iterating your model
till you find the right match.
And how will you know when you find?
I think you find the right match when people easily adopt the product. People, if it's a service that is people pay for, they pay for the product, they pay for the service, right? Sorry. But when you reach there, trust me, there's that feeling, you know, that you've arrived there, which you just need now to pump maybe funds on marketing to expand and maybe get investment.
Martin, if you had to start all over again, what will you do differently?
Starting all over again looks scary. I would say I might not have exactly left from school and gone into entrepreneurship. I will have worked for a while, because currently there are some things that it's still not easy for me to understand because I've not worked under somebody for a long time or for a while. So basically, that's one of the things I think I would have changed in my previous life if I had to rewind.
Okay, you could have worked for a while under somebody.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, we have a message coming in there. Blessed days, sir. I am Ella in Monaco. I am inspired with your entrepreneurial insight. It's timely, especially as many of us young people haven't decided what we really need to do. Kudos. Thank you very much, Ella. Thank you very much for reaching out.
Thank you, Ella.
And we look forward to having you continuously in the different programs. Thank you very much for reaching out. Okay, Martin, before who has been your greatest inspiration? Let's just run up there.
Out of Cameroon, I look at my greatest inspiration like Jack Ma. Okay. You know, when I look at what he has gone through in his entrepreneurship, in his life, being rejected from so many things, and people calling him that he's going to fail, but then he's the richest man now in China. And it's not about the riches, but about how he has persevered, how he has built his product, how he has built his business up to where he is now. I really think that's one of the persons which I feel like I really connect with.
Jack Ma.
Jack Ma.
Oh, the great Jack Ma of China.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Martin, for being part of our program Inside Business Cameroon today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We believe our listeners have been blessed from your stories, and we believe it will inspire many into going through this hero's journey of entrepreneurship. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. It has been Inside Business Cameroon on Media Freak Radio. We had a special guest today, Fongoh Martin, who is the CEO and founder of DigitalRenter, a house search platform. And I have been your humble host, Laye Mbunkur. Let's take a rendezvous next week, Wednesday, same time, 4 p.m. Do not miss. We look forward to having you as part of our program.